Alright, welcome to another edition of Socialists Are Stupid. Today's video has some more great information. They're always giving me great stuff. First, I will say that I am feeling better. I'm feeling pretty good now. That I think I'm whooping cancer's butt because physically I feel great. I'm just a little tired yet, a little weak yet. I had to go back to work, but I feel pretty good. So that's cool. Hopefully we'll get a PET scan or PT scan done here soon, and I'll know more of what I'm doing. So let's see, Jesse Smaller. Oh yeah, this is the idiot that hired some people to beat him up and hang a noose around his neck, and so he could go on CNN and make some money and talk about racism. And that sort of backfired, of course. Most of you probably already know. He now has 16 charges on him because he hired a couple of black guys to beat up a black guy and claim racism. And his attorney showed up on CNN, and I had to laugh when he said it was outrageous and it was a racist crime. How the hell could it be a racist crime when two black guys beat up another black guy? Or a white guy, two white guys beat up on another white guy? No, you're an idiot. And you're lying. There's just another classic example of the lying going on these mainstream medias. Let's see. Democrats investigate 80 Trump associates. Yeah, what they're doing is chasing their tails. Kind of reminds me of Wile E. Coyote going after the Roadrunner back in the old cartoon days when I was little watching him. He never quite gets the Roadrunner, except the very last one. But that's what the Democrats are doing. Chasing their tails, trying to make Trump look bad. We got to hate on Trump. So they're going to go after 80 guys, and they were hunting for a deal that he supposedly did in Russia, building a building in Russia. Number one, that's not illegal. Number two, Trump did just as many other big businesses, big corporations do. They build all over the globe. As long as there's not sanctions on them that you can't do it, you can do it all you want. But number three, they never built a building. So, yeah, you gotta love that one. They're just chasing themselves around. Idiots. What else we got today? Oh, yeah, the Covington Catholic boys, they're doing some more good. They're now after CNN, $250 million lawsuit. I love it. And I hope they win. That would just be so cool. Maybe they'll build a nice church, do some good with it. Plus, it would really show another classic example of the lying in the mainstream media. Let's see, what else we got today? Mainstream media blasting Trump for sanctions and blaming him for the Venezuelan hospitals that don't have power and they don't have food there. They're blaming Trump for a socialist dictator destroying a country and oppressing his people. And next, the sanctions are not against the people. They're just so he can't sell his oil and he can't bring in tons of money that's in overseas banks. That's about it. That's the main gist of it. So, again, another example. Let's see, Cortes. Yeah, Cortes never ceases to amaze me on her on what she says. She was talking on a show recently, talking about Reaganism and moderate Democrats or the downfall of America. I'm sitting there thinking, if you go back and take a little bit of time and look at the economy during the Reagan administration, he was in the fours in the GDP. Trump's nicking that area, but it's hard to get into the fours. And the economy was flourishing. And then she said moderate Democrats, that's not good for this country. Socialism is even worse than moderate Democrats. So, I don't get it. But she's the new poster child of that Democratic Party. There's getting to be a lot, especially young people, believing in her and believing in her ideas. I've talked about the Green New Deal and all kinds of other stupid stuff that just won't work. And my dogs are making noise again. Dang. Yeah. Oh, she also said if you don't want to work, you're left to die. Well, I don't want to work. I mean, but I work so I don't die. I mean, I work so I get food. I can have this house over my head. I can go buy a car. I can sometimes save up to go on a vacation or something. And so, yeah, I mean, if you don't want to work, it's not the government's, it's not everybody else's responsibility. If you want to die, you know, it's not my fault. There are tons of jobs out there right now. The economy's going crazy. And again, they don't show that on the news medias. Let's see, Camilla Harris. Yeah, she's a Democratic um, candidate on guns. This was great. She's playing a Cortes on this one. We cannot tolerate when babies are being slaughtered. She was talking about guns. But you're okay with killing 500,000 of them a year in abortions? Wow, right? Wow. That's insane, man. I'm really hoping this. Oh, yeah. So Sanders is getting really getting going right now. His poll numbers, which again I don't always trust poll numbers, but they're showing him and Biden in the 20s. They're neck and neck, and everybody else is like 5 or 6% right now. It's early, of course, yes, but it does show a sign that once again Bernie's going to do good, and I'm hoping he keeps on going, and the Democratic Party don't tell him to get out, because if Biden decides to run, they're going to split the vote again, just like Hillary and Sanders. So I'm kind of hoping he continues onward. And then even if Biden decides not to run, all the other idiots that are running, it's really going to split up the parties. And so a lot of moderate Democrats are going to be like, no. And what happened last time with Sanders was when Hillary pulled a fast one on him, and all the socialists got angry at Hillary, so they either didn't go vote at all because they were just pissed, or they voted for Sanders. And so when it came to the general election, all that was left was Hillary, and so May and McGahn were just, I'm not gonna go vote. Or I've got some inklings on it of when some of my debates that some of them were so pissed off at Hillary. Would you believe that they were actually voting for Trump just to spite her? And so I heard some stuff on it. I wasn't 100% sure until I started seeing some people actually talking about it when I was debating people back during the election cycle. So that was pretty cool. I was like, wow. So I hope he keeps it up. I just happened to see this. This is another thing for stupid people, not necessarily socialists, but just anyone. They were talking. I was kind of cruising through the news today. There was an airliner coming from, I don't know, overseas somewhere, and it was coming in New York, and they hit this huge turbulence. It's called clear air turbulence. I used to be a pilot. I've flown airplanes up to turboprops, and they can't forecast that stuff very well. And so a lot of these people got jacked up. There was one video where this poor lady, she's sitting in her seat, got a huge bloody nose, right? And you look above her head, and the plastic paneling above her is broke. It's like pushed in. So you know what did that, right? Well, I got a tip for you stupid people. Wear your seatbelts. I know a kid that got into, just some lady rear-ended him, and he wasn't wearing his seatbelt because he doesn't believe in him. He thinks they restrict him, which is the common thing that people say. Well, his face will never look the same because he bashed his face into the steering wheel just on a minor rear-ender. And in airliners, you can go flying. You get airborne, and you can get seriously jacked up. The pilots, trust me, they don't take their seatbelts off. They'll loosen them at high altitude, but we don't take them off. I've been in Cessnas in smaller Cessnas before, where it just extreme G-forces actually pull extremely hard on your weight on that seatbelt. So, advice to the stupid people out there: when you're in an airplane, you're high altitude. I know you're there for hours. If you got to go to the bathroom, sure, take it off. But as soon as you get back, put it back on, because pilots can't see that clear air turbulence. There are signs of it in clouds formations. Sometimes they call them lenticulars. But they can't forecast that stuff very well, and you never know when it's going to hit. It could hit at any time. And this was out over the ocean, I think. Mountains create a lot of big turbulence for hundreds of miles beyond, and the Rockies do. So keep those seatbelts on, people, because that's the smart thing to do. Anyway, let's go back to the crazy politics. Okay, so Trump said today, I liked some of his budget stuff. I happened to see some of it. Talked about he wanted to reduce the debt $2.7 billion, which is cool, in 10 years. It's a great idea. He is trying to downsize government. The leftists and the socialists always want more government, more government. And so by having more government, you need more people to run it. It costs more money. And so that just adds to that debt. You got to shrink things down, cut some things down. We're spending $150 billion plus on illegal immigrants. We could stop all that. That's $150 billion that could go back into the pot. I'm waiting to see. There are more people working now, paying more taxes as a whole, so that should help a little bit more too. But I thought that was a great idea. Sure, why not? He wants $8.6 more billion for the wall. Why the heck not? Let's see if we can cover that sucker up. And I know so many people have different views on the wall system, barricades, fences, whatever. And they say, well, a lot of drugs are coming in. Most of the drugs are coming in through the gates, coming through the entry points. That's the only places that it's coming in. Hello. Way out in the middle of the deserts of New Mexico, there's these big giant canyons with zero walls and zero fences, and you could drive an entire army through it. They don't know how much is going through there. We got to get this under control. For the millions of Americans that are addicted to drugs, even if nothing else, let's slow this stuff down. Opioids, yeah, I know a lot of it comes from here. A lot of it comes from China, up through Mexico. There are great ways to solve this problem, but we got to lock it down. It's way past time. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. Welfare. He wants people to work 20 hours or get work training 20 hours a week. I think what he should have added was I want also to piss test your butt. If I gotta do your analysis test for my job, if you want free money, you should also have your analysis done and an ID. Let's just tack all those two on. I think that'd be a brilliant idea. Yeah. I need an ID to buy a gun, but yet I don't need an ID to vote for people into office now. They're trying to do that. Let's see. Oh, Sanders. Yeah, he did some good ones this week. Sanders said anybody that works 40 hours a week should not be struggling. Well, stop taxing us so much. Hello. He's a criminal. Even Cortes said people were having to work 80 hours a week. Your philosophy is to tax the hell out of us. You want to tax the heck out of the rich so they can't afford to have employees in the first place, and then they all go out of business again. And I've talked about small businesses. During the Obama era, Obama taxed the crap out of those poor people, and millions of small businesses went out of business. They are 90% of all businesses in America, and you tax the crap out of them, but nobody wants to talk about that. You hurt them, and they employ people too, and as a whole, they employ a lot of people. They make a product for people, and that's what we need. So, yeah. Idiots. Let's see. Well, okay, that was the biggest stuff that I found this week. I'm going to close with socialism has to rely on force and government control to thrive. Only for the leaders to thrive, and everybody else is in breadlines. So we got to be very careful coming up in this 2020 season. We'll see what happens, and we'll do another video again pretty soon. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.